Well, actually, she's a descendant of that woman from Somalia. But she works just as hard as that woman in Somalia. And that force, it is nature. It's not stronger, but it is nature. And it gives her breath for her life. Now, the thing that she does to stay alive is the same thing that's killing her. And in her mind, she's wondering. And it's two simple letters, M and an E. She's made up of melanin and ether, and they spell the word me. And she says, "Oh Lord, why hast thou forsaken me?" It's okay to question God in these times. She's conflicted. She was born this way. Her parents left her, not on purpose. They was killed in a car accident. So she's forced to go out and do things that she may not be proud of, but she has to do them. And it hurts her soul. So it's not the shoes, it's her soul that hurts. And sometimes she has to be outside to do her job. And though she's blessed with melanin, the sun is so hot that she's wondering why she has to do this. It's so hot that she just wants to quit, but she can't because she knows her ancestors didn't quit. And she has a reason to not quit. Because at the end of the day, she takes that hard-earned work and she walks her way down to the corner store. She walks through that aisle and she picks up that black dog, the one with the natural hair. And she takes it home and she lays it right in the bed next to her little girl as a reminder of what she's doing this for. And this, at that moment, it makes it a little bit easier for her. But she's still crying out to God every night before she goes to sleep. Please help me find a better way. There has to be a better way. I didn't ask for this life. I'm living it. But could you please make it better? If you do exist, please make this life better. Because remember, it's not the shoes. It's the soul that hurts. It's not the shoes. It's a soul that hurts. So when you see her, don't judge her. Try your best to reach out and try to understand and connect with that energy and find out what it is that ails her. Because if you judge her, the same judgment you put on her is going to come back on you. She's just doing the best she can with the hands that she was dealt. And she's hurting. The metaphor is the shoes, but it's her soul that hurts. It's her soul that hurts. Every 4 years, we get an extra day for Black History Month. 2020, 29 days to get it together. Will we? Maybe. March 1st, we forgot that we were Black. But the ancestors can't be happy with that. I mean, they brought us on boats 400 years ago, and they put us in chains and shackles. But now Turner got free. Frederick Douglass got free. Are we getting free today? Maybe. 13% of America's population. 60% of the prison population. Can I have a job? You know better than that, nigga. Last to be hired, but the first to be fired. Police brutality is still running rampant in the streets. Sister, you got to discipline your children or they will be killed by the police. And it won't be his fault because he ain't there. And all that blood is gonna be spilled, it's gonna be red, it's gonna stain the concrete. And the green is for that beautiful land that they were kidnapped from. Now, how you trying to be Black with blonde hair? Come on, sister, wake up, it's not Halloween. It's ironic that back in the day when we had less, we were able to do more. Everybody's Black until you're faced with some trouble, and then you want to change. Or maybe assimilation is what it's called. No disrespect to the dead, but I love Michael Jackson when he had the big nose and the big afro. That reverse thing with the skin, I don't know how true that was. But I can understand what he was going through. He still wasn't accepted no matter how great he was still too Black. Wasn't quite Elvis. The ancestors are asking us a simple question. How Black are you? It can't be a maybe. It's got to be a definite. You need to be sure of your Blackness. You need to show your Blackness. Not sometimes, but all the time. Remember, the ancestors. When you feel the earth shake, it might not be a quake. It might be the ancestors reaching out, disturbing the ground that you stand on until you wake up and acknowledge the beauty of what God has blessed you with. Because Black is always beautiful. Don't be a maybe. Let your Blackness be a definite. I'm gonna tell y'all a little story. I'm gonna make it short, I'm gonna make it brief, but it's an important story. I'm about to be 50 years old next month. But I remember in 1983, 84, I had a great-grandmother who was 104 years old when she died. She was born in 1880 and she died in 1984. I was living in Gary, Indiana, but my father and my mother's side were in Memphis, so we would go to Memphis every summer and visit. And the pleasures for me was visiting my great-grandmother, whose name was Zafina. And we would sit down at her feet and she would tell us stories. In this particular story, she was born a free woman, but her parents were born slaves. This particular story, I remember her telling us about the black codes. She didn't call them that, but in my research, I remember that that's what they were. The black code said that in Tennessee, blacks had to be in the house before dark unless they had permission. Well, this particular day, she said her mom took this long walk to the corner store to go get something to eat. But on the way home, the overcast was coming, and she remembered as she was walking, seeing all the different things that she was picking up through her eyesight. And she wanted to ask her on the way back what they were. So on the way back, she said that she was looking and she was walking down this long road. She was looking at all these different things, and she happened to ask her mother, who was holding her hand and pulling her along. Because of the overcast, it was getting dark, and they needed to be at home before it got dark. She said, "Mom, do babies come from trees?" She said, "No, you know, babies don't come from trees. We got to go. Let's keep walking." So they walked a little further, and she saw another thing from her sights, and as she got closer, she said it scared her. So she pulled her mom's hand again, and she asked her, "Mom, do babies come from trees?" She said, "No, babies don't come from trees. Why are you asking me that?" So why is that man hanging in that tree?
Black bodies swinging in the silent breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar tree.
As victims of foreclosures or auto repossessions, or should I say land grab and auto theft, I still feel like victory is mine because I've gained the lessons. And I'm taking a good credit score for resurrecting my life. And I became a carpenter like Christ. And I'm building the minds of the children. But I'm seeking 12 disciples armed with hammers. Not Hummers, but hammers, to drive truth into the foundation of this black nation. And when we finish building, we need to lock it down like a vice. Because the Lord is waiting on us. The miscalculated niggas who still pay 4/4 of the price for freedom, expecting a quarterback to throw you a TD pass. But you better fake Jake if you're expecting to reach the promised land. Because Jake is as much as the snake as the serpents that promised us 40 acres and a mule. But we settled like jackasses, and we ended up 41 acres short, selling it for horses under the hood, sold to us by descendants of hooded horsemen, instead of that one good mule, which is all it took to transport Joseph, Mary, and Jesus to their destination. No navigational system like OnStar was needed. They followed the North Star. But now niggas say it's too cold up north, but they can take the heat down south, because they've got olive branches on their shade trees. And they're surrounded by cool stone mountains. So they sit in the heat of the night under that tree, wondering. But have y'all ever wondered why the dirt down south is so goddamn red? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Because when it rains, truth pours. And the water hits those blood-stained olive branches. And it drips. And it hits those blood-soaked stone mountains. And it flows downstream. And it remains on the ground. So now when you walk, you're reminded of your people's pain and suffering. So the road is red to remind you the link or gap that's formed between you and your forefathers and mothers. And the ones you yourselves have formed between you and your children. All because you're chasing Creflo's dollars, negating God's good law. But don't worry, we'll all soon learn. And if this truth hurts, remember, there's always the head dog who hollers.